Welcome back, everyone. This is Aluminum Tarot. Thanks so much for joining today. I'm going to try to take my time when I speak, so that way I'm not all over the place mentally. Anyways, it's been a long day. I've been searching endlessly across the internet to try to find a new place to move to, and trying to set my sights on something new. So we'll see how that goes, and I'll keep you updated on that. In the meantime, we're going to go ahead and do the sign of Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising for the month of October 2025. And this is going to take place over the course of October 1st to October 31st. That's the clear-cut, intentional, definition of what we want to peer into for this particular card reading. Now, that said, if you like what you see here, please be sure to give a like, share, subscribe, ding the notification bell so you don't miss any updates, and also comment below so that we know exactly how this relates to your specific life. We will be using the Steampunk Tarot, and I've got the complementary deck, the Steampunk Lenormand, which is actually working quite well for me at the moment. And we'll go into this, we'll read the cards for the month, and then after that we'll go into some other messages. That said, let's get to it. So, Scorpio, your energy, challenge, Scorpio, took place in the recent past. It's taking place in the near future. Okay, what's at the crown? What's at the core? Sorry. Cards are flying out all over the place, and that's your card. There you go. What's at the crown? And what is the likely outcome? Got the same card for Capricorn. That's pretty interesting. So we'll clarify that one to see what that is about. Same cards for Capricorn. So if you're a Scorpio with Capricorn in your chart, this one is for you, because I've seen a lot of the same cards coming out, especially in the outcome, which we'll peer into a bit. Even the same at the bottom of the deck. I had the exact same card for Capricorn. So it's quite interesting, actually. Yeah, if you've got Scorpio Capricorn in your chart, this is definitely your reading. What we're going to see is at the bottom of the deck, we have the King of Pentacles in the reverse, which means that you've kind of been thrown off kilter. You have you've had a financial setback, or you've actually dealt with a loss of a foundation within your life. So, for example, you may have had to pay out a lot of money. Now you're a bit skint at this time. And you may have also had to worry a little bit about your finances, in addition to maybe you don't feel stable like you used to. That's what's coming forth. We're going to peer into this and see exactly where this is going. For the meantime, what we have here, we have the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Pentacles here as your current energy. So you're working slowly towards a specific goal, a tangible thing that you're trying to achieve and to accomplish. However, what we have here is the challenge. We have the Eight of Wands here. And what this talks a lot about is this is a card that speaks to us about things that feel blocked. This is about progress, or possibly even when you're going towards something that you're not setting your intentions correctly and it can actually misfire. So you almost think of like I don't know if I can say this on YouTube, but I'll say it anyway. It's like a gun that jams. And you have this intention, or an arrow that snaps when you try to shoot it out. It's almost like you're intending to go somewhere, but sometimes it doesn't feel like it's going the intended direction that you want it to go. And so I suppose even more so, the challenge for you might actually be trying to work on being intentional whenever you start goals and you set forth for them. This will help you out significantly if you're in the, if you're trying to work towards something you want to manifest. Or maybe, perhaps, you're making progress, but sometimes you might just feel blocked. People are not messaging you back. You may have put out some correspondences, letters, so on, and you're not receiving any, word back from the people that you've written to. Maybe even you've just decided to stop speaking to certain people and do things on your own. What we're seeing here, we came out with, in the recent past, we have 2 6s. So this is about harmony, balance, and things like that. This has been thrown off kilter when I said that initially. That is exactly what I felt. So we have the 6 of Wands and we have the 6 of Pentacles in the reverse. So maybe you have failed to receive some kind of assistance that you needed in order to help you to become a bit more financially stable. Or perhaps you felt that people were not giving to you, and they have now made you kind of feel like you're a bit of a failure. And that's a very it's a very difficult thing to go through. I can definitely say it's a very unfortunate thing as well. But with the 2 6s, it feels like the efforts that you make are not only unbalanced, but they're also feeling a bit more like, it's a bit of a struggle for you to actually receive the help that you need in order to make the progress forward. So say, for example, you wanted to apply for a new job, you wanted to apply for a new position, you wanted to advance in your career, you wanted to maybe receive some help that you needed in order to make this progress forward, that didn't come, and then now you kind of feel like you have to shrug and do this on your own, but you're plodding along in the process right now, and it feels like it's a bit more difficult slog than it needs to be, because you feel that the people who should be helping you, or the people you would like to help you, are not actually there. In the near future, you have the Ace of Swords, but this is in the reverse. And so this can also talk about additional issues of a lack of a breakthrough or delay in a breakthrough. I'll clarify just to be sure. So we had the Hermit card, and this is the Hermit, but it was on its side. So it's almost feeling like the energy is very challenging. It's like you want to go within to try to find out a solution for this problem, but it's difficult because you're not really getting the insights that you need in order to do this. And the Ace of Swords also, typically in the reverse. The Ace is ready to do battle. When it's in the upright, in the reverse, it's kind of like a period of peace, or it's ineffectual. So in a sense, we see that we're not able to really cut out the things that we need to cut out in order to move forward. Additionally, with the Inventor in this deck, which is the Hermit in the Rider-Waite-Smith, we talk a lot about, trying to go within, use the light of the star to guide us out of a difficult dark night of the soul. So it feels like this dark night of the soul is not clearly over yet. And you're trying to cut out the difficulties within your own life that are creating this feeling of, feeling swallowed up. And the reason why I say that is because in your outcome you have the 9 of Swords. However, we'll get to that very soon. Now, in your core energy you have it's the Tower card. It's in the reverse. But I'm getting the energy of this is that you're trying to keep things from falling apart. And this can be a difficult energy here. Clarify Tower reverse. It's almost like you want to rush in and try to communicate, emotions or things to people, maybe apologize, try to make things right to someone specifically. What I'm getting here, it's almost like with this reading, so going back to the 6s, we see the 2 6s. Sometimes the 6 of Wands in the reverse can be a lack of attention. And additionally, the 6 of Pentacles in the reverse is a lack of give and take, an improper give and take. So looking at it in that light, it's almost like a relationship where things are one-sided, completely one-sided, either on your part or on the person that you're with. You don't want this relationship to fall apart or to, to break down. So you're trying to be sweeter, gentler to the person that you're communicating with, the person that you're involved with, and it's not really working out. We have the Queen of Pentacles as what you know to be true. You're trying to nurture this relationship. And it does appear to be like a marriage of sorts. You have the Justice and you also have the Lovers, both in the upright as to what you're trying to achieve. So these are two major arcana cards. And that means that there's a great deal of effort that you're making in trying to balance out the connection that you have with someone that is very strong. And so for you, I'm hearing, what's the name of that artist? God, it'll come to me a bit later on, but I'm hearing the phrase "don't leave," and it's like you don't want this person to exit your life. You're doing your best to try to make things work. So you may be seeing a counselor, you may be seeing speaking to friends about how you can organize something in your relationship. You could also be trying to connect with your head and heart, so that way you can find a solution for this. But if the relationship is one-sided, it's really not really much you can do about that. And I think that this is something that you'll come to a realization about. Towards the very end of this reading, you have the Nine of Swords, and then you also have the Ten of Pentacles. So with this, it's like this family dynamic that you have put yourself into or that you are in stresses you out to no end. And I think there it is. It's a marriage. So Ten of Pentacles, Hierophant, and the Nine of Swords. It's a marriage that stresses you the hell out. You're actually trying to hold it together. You're trying to make sure that things work with it. You are committed until the end, until death do you part. However, it's not really seeming like, even though it's from death to you part, till death do us part, it's almost like the life has been sucked out of it, because now it's like trying to, put cellophane tape on something that needs like serious repairs and refurbishment. And I don't know what this is, but you can tell me in the comments below. Maybe this will shed some light on this entire situation. It could be a workplace situation as well. You need to leave a job, but you're holding on for dear life. It could be a situation where you're in a marriage or a long-term relationship, or maybe you're with someone that you really fancy and you're trying to hold it all together, but it just doesn't seem to be working out. And try to look into that and see exactly what that means to you. Oracle card. So I'm pulling out the Oracle card, and here we have the Snake. This is normally a negative card. This is about being unscrupulous. It's about being kind of backstabbing in a sense. But we're going to pull that out and see what it means. So the Snake is about complications, difficulties, deceptions, lies, malicious actions, bewaring certain things, minor medical issues, changes of plans or routes. So this is about a relationship in which one person has been quite deceptive. Things have come out to light. You realize that someone that you're dealing with is not a very scrupulous person. However, the connection that you have with them means that you want to preserve it. Ask yourself exactly why you're putting so much energy into this and what that is going to give to you. Because honestly, like, if the person doesn't want to work with you, and it does take two to tango, if you're dancing alone, you're not going to achieve the results that you want. I think it's important for you to reassess what your aims and intentions are in trying to keep this from falling apart. It's very difficult, very heavy reading here, but it's what I got, so I'm just going to read it out there. That's pretty much it. Thank you so much. I know that band that I'm thinking about is going to drive me mad. It's with Maxi Jazz in it, and he sings the song Insomnia. And in that album, Faithless, damn it, it's going to drive me fucking mad if I didn't figure that out. I have these moments in my life where I forget the name of something, and then it comes back to me at the most inopportune time. So yeah, it's the name of the band Faithless. It's a UK band, trip-hop band. And the second track off of the self-titled album is Don't Leave. And that song popped into my head. And if you can, go on YouTube or go on like Spotify or whatnot and look at that and see what that song is about. But I get that song all laid on top of this entire reading. So yeah, Maxi Jazz is the singer. Rest in peace. And Faithless is the name of the band. Okay, cool. That's it. I'm going to wrap it up here. Thank you so much. Thank you for all your love and support. And until next time, love and light right back at you. Bye now.